This is picture I drew, brothers and sisters, of Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan as a big ugly titan. Of course it has nothing to do with One Piece, but I like to mix it up a little bit. If you like this, remember to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
One Piece, Chapter 119, Deadly Improvisation.
Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the tantalizing tale of One Piece. Our last chapter left us with, of course, Luffy and Dorry had kind of gone toe-to-toe, and ultimately we found out that there were some Baroque Works agents on the island, Mr. 3, and then, of course, Miss Golden Week, as well as Mr. 5 and Miss Valentine. So they're the ones that had poisoned the ale with the exploding bomb. The chapter had ended with the volcano erupting again, and Dorry is injured and torn up as he is, and of course Broggy as well, going to meet at their mutual fighting place. So that's where we ended off. That's where we begin. And really, this chapter it's pretty straightforward. It really should have been called psychological warfare, because ultimately what it is it's kind of the hit and run tactics of Mr. 3, really realizing that he can't, even with him and his few agents that are with him, that they probably are going to lose in a one-on-one or a face-to-face confrontation with either these giants or the Straw Hat Pirates. So so it's a lot of hit and run tactic type of things. So it starts off with Broggy getting ready to go to battle, and Usopp and Nami are kind of like, okay, whatever, blah blah. He's gonna go to battle. Nami still thinks it's stupid they're doing that. Usopp's like, shut up, you don't understand. So it's still kind of that two different mentalities of it's the most honorable fight in the world, going for 100 years, and this is a waste of time, So. We get, Nami basically says, hey, listen, we got to get back to the ship. And then Usopp's like, are you kidding? I'm not going to fight dinosaurs. I'm not going to go through the jungle and fight dinosaurs and everything like that. And she's like, yeah, but I thought you wanted to be a brave warrior and this and that. And he's like, well, yeah, I mean, I do, but, ultimately I'm not a dinosaur hunter. So, and I'm not going to make it back through the dinosaur-infested jungle. So she says, fine, whatever. Luffy and Vivi are at the other giant's house, camp, whatever. Let's go that way. So he's like, okay, and you assume that they go off in that direction. We then go and we see Mr. 3, and we see him kind of talking about some of the different things that they're going to do. And like I said, again, he's talking about how he's pretty much going to go and pick them off one by one. First, they're going to go and take out Dorry. He knew that the bomb would not kill him, but it would weaken him. And then, obviously, when he goes into the battle with Broggy, he is going to be at a disadvantage. And ultimately, he can, allow Broggy to do some of that work for him, as opposed to trying to take down this giant one-on-one, which he wasn't going to be able to do. So, and then he pretty much goes and lays out the plans of, hey, we're going to pick off the other ones one by one, using deception and that sort of thing. And we still don't really know what Miss Golden Week, what her type of powers are, what she can do, or even Mr. 3 for that matter. I mean, obviously he's more devious and kind of like the evil genius, but we wind up kind of seeing things as the chapter progresses, because then things kind of get a little tangled up and muddled, and I had to read it a couple times to pick up on what happened. And I think I've got it right over here. So then what winds up happening is we see Zoro walking through the jungle, and he appears to be lost. He appears to be dragging a Triceratops with him that he either knocked out or killed for the hunt that he was going to do with Sanji. Sanji we don't even see in this chapter. But Zoro goes and he's like, man, I'm lost. I thought I'd turn left at the tree and this and that. All of a sudden he goes and he sees Nami standing against a tree. And he's like, Nami, what are you doing here, And then I wound up, and this is where I got a little confused, but then I looked at it, and then in the next panel, all of a sudden there's just like a poof, and you see like this kind of like smoke or whatever coming from out of there. So I'm assuming that this Miss Golden Week has some type of power to be like a shapeshifter, or be able to like project images or something like that, change her form, what have you, because clearly that wasn't Nami, because then we go and we see Nami and Usopp, and they see a dinosaur, and they start charging off through the woods. Now, what I thought happened was that and what I think they wanted you to believe happened was that Nami, actually ran into Zoro and then saw the dead dinosaur or the laying dinosaur, and then freaked out and ran and got Usopp to run too. But I don't believe that's what happened at all. So Usopp and Nami are taking off. They're running from this dinosaur. Usopp is, he's a track sprinter, man. He's ahead of her, and she's like, wait, you got to hold up for me, right? So then all of a sudden, you see her kind of putting her hands on her, legs. She's out of breath or what have you. And then all of a sudden she looks over and she sees Luffy standing against a tree. And you can tell too, because the way these characters are drawn, the ones that I think are clones, you can see their body, their face, and everything like that, but it doesn't show their eyes. There's like a shadow over their eyes with like lines drawn over, So I think that's what, that's what would give it away to me anyway. So not like I'm going to get a prize or anything like that because, I'm certainly far from Sherlock Holmes status. But it was definitely something that was kind of bothering me as I was reading through it, and I wound up giving it a couple of rereads to certain sections just to make sure I had things straight. So she sees this Luffy imposter or what have you, and then obviously keeps her kind of behind and drawn away from Usopp, and then we get another like kind of page where it's it zooms out a little bit and a poof, and that's the only thing I can imagine is that she just disappears, right? So then Usopp's like, what the hell? Where's Nami? Where's Nami? And he actually goes and he meets up with Luffy then because he's made it to the camp. So they're like, what do you mean? Where's Nami? And it's just really kind of funny how the exchange is because then they're talking about it and Vivi is the one who goes and picks up on the whole, hey, listen, what if some Baroque works agents are on the island, right? And they fill Usopp in on the exploding ale, and Usopp's like, exploding ale? And he's pissed off because ultimately he knows that this battle will wind up coming to an end now, this honorable battle of 100 years, because of the unfair, advantage that Broggy will have over Dorry due to the exploding ale. So really, it's kind of cool how everything kind of weaves together, and you got to have one step to get to the next, I also forgot to mention, too, towards the beginning of the chapter, when Dorry was getting up to go off, and Luffy and Vivi were trying to convince him not to, Dorry actually, picked up his house and, put it on top of Luffy to pin him down so Luffy couldn't keep him from going to his battle, So they've kind of met up, and like I said, it's Vivi who basically says, listen, what if they're trying to go and do this, and they would capture Nami first because, out of the three wanted ones, being Zoro, Luffy, and Nami, she would be probably the easiest target, the easiest to get, and then of course that would help to draw in the other ones, as far as trying to get Zoro and Luffy. And so then we go and we see, and the chapter ends up shortly after that, we see Broggy and Dorry kind of just going at it, just fighting and everything else, and Broggy's like, ho, 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 he's like, you're a little off today, Dorry, what's going on? And Dorry, you can just tell by the way the word bubble is and everything, the words kind of come out like, I don't know, they look just real sloppy, so you can tell it's like it's trying to insinuate that he's like short of breath, he's wounded, what I mean? He's talking, he's fighting through the pain, but he's like, no, I'm fine, don't worry, I'm just good as ever, But you can tell that it's definitely taken its toll, the ale exploding in his stomach and tearing up his insides. I don't care how big or strong you are, that's certainly gonna put a damper in your day, So then we go and we see a brief, and they're kind of fighting in the jungle over here, and we see Mr. 3 go and appear, and he's like, oh, let me just help you along there, and he goes in, and basically the equivalent of like sticking his foot out and tripping Dorry to kind of give Broggy again another unfair advantage, and we kind of see that whole them crash to the ground, and it looks like Broggy has gotten the clear advantage of him, and hopefully not struck the killing blow. I guess we'll find out in the next chapter for that. So that's how the chapter ends. My chapter question, though, is as far as Mr. 3 goes, and keep in mind, I don't know if he has any other type of powers or anything yet, but what do you think about his tactics? Are you more of a straightforward, punch him in the mouth type of person? Or are you more of a psychological warfare, bring others to your side, get others to do your work for you, for instance, and hit and run tactics, more psychological, you know what I mean? Are you more physical, like, hey, that guy pissed me off, I'm going to punch him in the head? Or are you more like, I'm going to fuck with his whole life, So leave your comments, the answer to that question in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you have not done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, nation.
Remember, brothers and sisters, to share, subscribe, spread the word of the nation to others, and of course, if you like watching the videos, watching them is always much appreciated. Have a nice day.